Awesome. Welcome everyone to our Epic Dream Team, a new coach startup with myself, Christy Curtis, and Miss Tanya Jean. We are so excited to have you with us this evening. We know that this business is all about trial and error and practicing until you get it right. And Tanya Jean and I have practiced a lot and done a lot of trial and error to figure out these things that we're going to be teaching you all this evening. So I am so excited to be able to share it with you. But the most important thing to remember, everything we share with you tonight is incredible information, but they're tools and they're tips and they're tricks, but it's up to you to put them into action. So we can share with you what has made us successful, what has helped us create success in this business, but if you don't take action on those items, it's really not going to do you any good. So I hope that after this information, you take tons of notes and you put things into action. Implementation is key. So who are we? We are just a couple chicks trying to change the world. We're dreamers, we are doers. So we are hosting this because we want to, we are committed as your uplines to setting the example and to really helping you create success in your own coaching business. So I'm going to start out and tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Christy Curtis. I am a 3-time elite top coach, also a 6-star diamond, 7-star qualifying, 2-star diamond, and another business center, and 1-star diamond and diamond coach. So I have a lot of business centers. It's all a little bit confusing, but I started as a coach about 4 years ago. I was working full-time in the financial industry, and I really just wanted more. I know a lot of people work the 8 to 5. You go to work, you wait for the day to end, you wait for Friday, so you have the weekends, you dread Monday mornings. That was me. I wanted more. I wanted time freedom was really, really important to me. My love language is time and having quality time with people. And so time was important, financial freedom was important, flexibility, and something that gave me passion every day, being able to dream again. How many of us have put our dreams on the back burners because it's life and we're told to deal with it? That's what I was told. I was told to deal with it and that everything that I wanted didn't exist, but I didn't give up hope. I kept looking. And when I found the coach opportunity, I was terrified. How was I going to be a successful coach? I had no idea. I didn't know what the day-to-day looked like or how to make that happen. Since I've figured it all out, I have tons of YouTube videos that go through the Power Hour to-do list, what to do on a daily basis to create success in your business. And I was amazed that within a year's time, my part-time income with Beachbody had surpassed my full-time income. And then by my 1.5-year mark, I was able to leave my full-time job, and by 1 year and 9 months, I was earning over 6 figures. And just in the last week, in 1 week, I earned over $8,000. I am now paying more in taxes than I used to make in my full-time job in 4 years. So what I really want to challenge you tonight is take action on your business. That's what I did consistently for the last 4 years. I didn't put my business on the back burner. You know, when things happened, life happens to all of us. I will tell you that when I became a diamond coach, my grandfather was had cancer and was passing away. We had to go up actually and say goodbye to him. And then we went on a week's vacation to visit my now husband's family in Wisconsin, and in that same month, we were both moving. Paul was moving out of his home, I was moving out of mine, and we were moving into a new place. So you know the stresses that come with moving, with losing a loved one, with going on vacation, all in 1 month, and I still got all of the basic vital behaviors, which we'll talk about in a little bit, done in that month and earned Diamond Coach, the leadership ranks in Beachbody. So I challenge you all, be here in a year and do not put your business on the back burner because of life. Life is going to happen. It's happening to all of us every day. We're going to have struggles. We're going to have obstacles. But it's really up to you to take action on your business each day and to keep your dreams alive and to take action, to be a doer. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Tanya on the line, another doer, dreamer on the team. She's a diamond coach. Her and I have been able to go on so many vacations together. That picture that you see is the two of us in Cozumel last year, and shortly after that picture, we were out on a catamaran sailing the ocean and swimming with stingrays, which was the scariest thing in my life. But I said, well, if everybody else is doing it, I better push some comfort zones and get in that water. I did scream, but I'm so excited to have Tanya on the line to be able to share all of our tools and tips and tricks with you tonight. Tanya, are you there?
Thank you so much. I am. Thank you to everyone that's watching this video tonight. My name is Tanya Jean, and I love that I was fortunate enough to be brought into this business just because I wanted to get into shape. I was brought to Christy when I was about 15 pounds overweight. I was in debt. I was stressed out. I was working 5 and 6 nights a week, and I never got to see my kids. I'm a mom of a blended family of 5 children, and I missed soccer games and piano recitals and putting them to bed at night, just the little things that you lose track of, and before you know it, they're grown up. And so when I was introduced to this, I immediately connected with Shaun T of Insanity because I had been up late night nursing and watching those infomercials thinking, could I do those workouts? And wow, it looks really crazy, and instantly fell in love. And within a couple months, I was down those 15 pounds, and I felt really good. At almost 40 years old, I felt better than I had felt even in my 20s. And so for me, being a mom that was looking for something else, was looking for a way to be able to be present in her children's lives, and then finding out that, as a coach, I would be helping other moms like myself do the same, and I could stay home with my kids, it was just a no-brainer. It was a very easy decision for me to make. And just like Christy said last year with us, and she just gave me chills when she reminded me of the stingrays, because it is something that was crazy that we did, but I can't imagine not being able to live that life, not being able to make crazy choices like jumping off a boat and swimming with stingrays if we want to. And there we were, and that was actually a huge celebratory trip for me. It was just prior to that, I was able to fire my boss, and I had all my debt paid off by then. I paid off my car, and I started on my road to just freedom and living the life that I wanted to live. And being home with my kids has been so rewarding, and I've really been able to have that balance again. And so we want to share that with you. We want to be the reason that you dream again. We want to offer you all the success that we had, but condense it. So that's what this new coach startup really is about. It's about bringing you into our culture and sharing with you everything that we know so that you can be successful.
Awesome. All right. So elite coach pointers. As a brand new coach, I knew I was going to succeed. Once I had that little doubt in my head, and I thought, no, these are my dreams. They're important. This is the only opportunity I found that answers yes to all of them, and I'm going to succeed because I'm crazy enough to think I can. And so these are the things that we're going to go through tonight so that you can succeed in your business. We're going to start with going through the 3 vital behaviors. Start where you are right now. How to share your journey, what to say and what not to say. Consistency is key. A successful mindset is so important in this business. Fake it till you make it. And action, I've already talked about it a lot. It brings results. You have to take action.
Awesome. So we're going to start in right off the bat. As a new coach, there are 3 vital behaviors that we train on. And I mean, you might as well just get that tattooed on your forehead because it's literally the backbone of your business. And when we say invite, sometimes it's mistaken. People think, oh, well, I can't just constantly bug all my friends and family and just Facebook post and make invites. And invite means, number one, being an inviting person, be an approachable person, living your life with a vulnerability and sharing it with other people. So when you're inviting, it's also a personality trait, inviting people into your life. And then another part of that invite is actually inviting people, and it's going to be through personal messaging. It's going to be through just creating relationships and building relationships with people so that you can find out how Beachbody can help them. And it's also the pinpoint of inviting is invite them to anything that will provide value to them. So we're not saying, when we say send 3 to 5 to 10 invites a day, it doesn't mean it has to be to a challenge group that ends in the purchase of a challenge pack sale. Invite just might mean invite to your book club group, invite to your clean eating group, invite to your next Shakeology challenge or flat belly challenge. You're just inviting people into your life, aka your business, because they're coinciding together. And then part of that is being proof that the product works. You actually have to show other people first. There's a pretty large investment, $140 to $205. You have to provide the value, and you have to make sure that you're offering yourself up to people before they're going to spend that money. So by being proof the product works, that means you're drinking your Shakeology every day and you're doing your workout every day. And then you're sharing it as you go along. Sometimes it might just be showing a scoop of coconut oil going into your shake. And you don't even have to say that it's Shakeology and, oh, it's $129, but if you're a coach, it's this. It's none of that. It's just sharing your journey. It's doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and then sharing it with other people and bringing them along. And then the personal development, I can't say enough about. So I've been addicted to the self-help section of the bookstore since I was like 11 years old. It used to be called self-help. That's how old I am, because now it's called personal development. But so for me, it's always been a learning and a growth process. And I believe that so many of us that don't take the time to really develop ourselves or work on ourselves or work on our growth, we get stuck. That's how you get stuck. And if I look back at any times in my life when I really was depressed or sad or angry or miserable, it was the times I wasn't reading something. I wasn't learning something new about myself. And, I've heard a saying, now I can't remember what the saying is. I just messed up. In order to grow, you have to grow yourself or something like that. And now I'm going to have to look it up and leave it in the comments or something. But in order to know yourself, you have to grow yourself. I think that's what it is. And it is so true, because we get so caught up in taking care of other people and the routine and monotony of every day that we forget that we are a soul, we're a mind and a body, and all of those have to work together so that we can be the best version of ourselves. So I have seen incredible growth in myself and in the people on our team just by dedicating themselves 10 to 15 minutes a day of reading a book. And as a new coach, we have a list in our back office or in our team page that you can see of, preferred reading lists, and just pick one and go with it. And, try and read 1 or 2 books a month. And it's really going to help you through the bad days, and it's going to make the good days all that much better. And then as a new coach, you also want to stay connected. You want to be really close to your sponsor coach. That person has been through everything you're about to face. So make sure that you're watching their journey and you're staying on top of what they're doing and how they're sharing, and then reach out to them and kind of connect with them and say, hey, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. Like, just stay in close contact with that person. That's somebody that's always going to be your building block, and you can, work with and have really successful challenge groups with. And it's just a really great way to stay connected to the entire team if you stay close to your sponsor coach. And as a new coach, you also have opportunities to reach out in your Coach Online office for all the news and updates. They keep a little running post at the very top right-hand screen of your Coach Online office to keep you updated on everything that's happening. And at first, you might think, oh, well, I don't need to log in every day, or I don't need to check it every day. There's nothing going on. But there is always something going on in the breaking news. So if you just get in there just to do that, and then maybe kind of you can check your volume and just kind of nose around. And then that's where you're also going to find your training. So you go on that training tab, and you're going to find everything that you need to advance to the next rank in your business. And there's a whole backlog of national wake-up calls. You should be on those on Monday mornings, but there's the archived sessions of them so that you can access immense amounts of training. I can testify, and I know Christy can too, that national wake-up calls are amazing. If you are struggling with anything at all, you can log into those archived calls and there will be something that addresses it. If you want new ideas, if you just want to zip up your Wednesday because you're feeling kind of low or you got too many no's on Tuesday, it's a great place to go. It's like the encyclopedia of motivation and personal development. And then always remember to stay connected on our team page. We have a great culture. We all have a lot of fun, and there's so many of us in there with so many different personalities that you will find someone that is exactly on your rank advancement goal list or is wanting to run a clean eating group the same amount of times every time on the same schedule as you. There's going to be people that you're going to mix with that are across the country and you never would have known otherwise, but we'll end up making best of friends. And then it makes it more fun because when we are at Summit or we're at Super Saturdays or when we do go on these big rewards trips, we have people that we know and that we look forward to seeing because that's probably the only time we're going to get to see them throughout the year. So stay really connected in our team page. And then that brings us to where you can find answers. You probably have 1,001 of them if you are anything like me. And so we actually have steps. We have a hierarchy of how you can find answers on your own because it's probably pretty daunting thinking all the things you need to know. So that first place you want to go is in your Coach Online office, like I mentioned, under your training. But there's also a really handy tool. If you scroll down to the bottom, there is an FAQ, and you can click on that, and I guarantee if you put in your question into the search box, you will find an answer. So it's just a treasure trove of new coach, what do I do now, what if scenarios. So if you can't find your answer there, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to Google it. Half the time when somebody asks me a question, because I'm not a human encyclopedia, I Google it. And then I just relay that information to them. So cut out the middleman and Google the information. I guarantee you'll find it. Lo and behold, if you don't find it, you can always ask in the team page. And what I love about that is we have so many awesome leaders in that page that if I'm not available and you post the question in there, you'll probably get an answer pretty quickly because there are other people that probably know either if they don't know the answer, they know where to find it and can point you in the right direction. So that's always an option. And then you can ask Coach Relations, but they'll really just kind of say verbatim what you're going to find on the FAQ. So if you're calling Coach Relations, it will be maybe a question about a specific customer that you need answered, or if you need information about why your Success Club points didn't show up, something like that that you can't just fix with an FAQ, something that you need, something done about. That's when you'll want to call Coach Relations. And if all of the above doesn't work, or if you aren't satisfied with the answer you got, you're more than welcome to reach out to your sponsor coach or your Star Diamond upline coach. Either one of us are more than happy to help anyone on the team if you've exhausted all your efforts to find something out and you're just not happy with what you've gotten a hold of. You can definitely reach out to one of the leaders on the team. And the reason we do this is because we want you to be as independent and successful as you can as quickly as possible. So a lot of times if you ask us a question that can easily be accessible somewhere else, we might not answer it right away because you really need to learn by doing. You need to know where to find this information so that it makes you grow faster. It makes you more able and more independent right away.
Thank you, Tanya. I love that. For me, the archived national wake-up calls and Google were my best friends.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it helped me grow so much faster because every time I had a question, the information that I found was even more than what I was looking for. So rather than just getting that answer, I learned so much more finding the answer, the process of finding the answer. All right, so we are going to go on to the next. When should I share? Right now, but I don't know anything yet. That's okay. If you wait, you're going to miss out on learning from experience. As a brand new coach, I hadn't earned a dime. I didn't have any coaches. I didn't have any customers. And I started sharing right away. I was so excited about this opportunity to finally find something that said yes to everything that I had ever wanted, that I couldn't keep this a secret. I felt like if I kept it a secret, I was missing out on sharing this opportunity, like this gift that I had found. And I knew that the only way I was going to learn was by doing and experiencing it and diving in. And I really do consider sharing this business a gift. So I wanted my friends and family to know. I didn't care if they said yes or no. And if you have a hard time hearing the rejection, read the book or listen to the audio, Go for No. That's a great personal development to start with if you have a hard time with rejection, because people are going to say no. If you wait, you're going to lose momentum. You're going to lose belief and confidence that your dreams are really possible, and they are. They are possible, but the only way you're going to get there is to start sharing right now. Think of it this way, okay? You go into a restaurant, right? Maybe it's your favorite restaurant. Mine right now is Sunnyside in Tahoe on the West Shore. I love Sunnyside. We go there probably about once a week, and the food is incredible. And when we sit in the dining room, the service is amazing. I drink a lot of water. My water is filled like as soon as I drink any of it, so I'm never having to ask for more water or ask for anything. They have it there. It's like they're reading my mind. It's so incredible. The food, the dessert, oh my gosh, it's awesome. But I don't know the entire menu. I don't know all the ingredients. Do I wait and share about this restaurant? No, I invite my friends there. I tell them how awesome it is. I don't have to know all 100 items on the menu. I don't have to know all the ingredients. I don't have to know when the restaurant was founded and who the owner is. I don't have to know that information. But I share how excited I am about this restaurant with all my friends, with my family. When they come here, I want to take them there. And if my friends don't go to Sunnyside, I'm not offended. I'm not offended if they say no or never go there. I'm just excited about what I found, and I want to share that with people. So the business is the same way. Maybe you're excited about Shakeology and what it's done for you. For me, it helped me with my sweet cravings. If I don't have it, I crave sweets like crazy. It also helped me to lose those last pesky 5 pounds. Why would I keep that a secret? So I'm going to share that with people. And it's okay if they say no. It's okay if it's not for them right now. I'm not going to be offended. I just want to share with them. So you really have to let your fears go. You have to let the fear of no go. You have to get over the fear of sharing and just start sharing with people. You don't have to know it all. The only way you're going to get better by sharing is by doing it, learning by doing, by experience, by practice, by personal development. So the time to share is now. I just got started with 21 Day Fix. I don't know if you guys have heard of this program, but it's insane. I can't believe the results I've seen in the first week alone. And yes, it doesn't happen overnight, but I lost 2 pounds. Can't wait to see what happens in the next week. Share your excitement about it. You don't have to have all the answers. So what if you don't know the answer? I see coaches post a lot. So-and-so has this shake, and these are the ingredients it has, and this is the list, and this is all the information, and what do I say to them? I don't know. I don't spend time researching other businesses. I don't spend time researching other shakes because I know ours is the best. So I'll tell people I'm not sure. All I do know is I have more energy than I've ever had before. I don't have those 2 p.m., 3 p.m. lows after I started using Shakeology. I'm not sure about that company, but all I know is how many lives I've been able to change with our programs, and how many people have said to me, Christy, I've tried everything and I've never seen results before. This is the first time. I can't thank you enough. I'm not sure about that company, but all I know is with Beachbody, I was able to fire my boss and earn more than any boss has ever paid me, and do it in a way that I am passionate and excited and being able to pay this forward. And you have to share where you're going with this. Share your dream, share your passion. You don't even have to be there yet. When I was a brand new coach and I didn't have one customer, I didn't have one coach on my team, I had no success whatsoever to share, I was sharing with people my past. I was sharing with them what had happened to me, what my struggle with weight. I shared with them my struggle with my job and my boss. And then I shared with them my dream and where I was going. I knew that I was going to be successful. And so from day one, with no income, I shared with people my dream. I was going to fire my boss. I was going to work from home and have time, freedom, and flexibility. And they didn't have to sign up with me. It didn't matter because I knew there was no obstacle that was going to stand in my way of being successful. I shared that. I didn't wait around for other people to say yes. I didn't wait for my friends or family to say yes. I shared with them because I had this gift. But this train was leaving the station. I wanted my friends to be there with me. I wanted my family to be there with me. But if they weren't ready, that was okay. I didn't need them to be successful. So I just shared my dream and where I was going. And I've gotten there. And so people watched that story. So you should share right now because you're going to have people that will jump on board with you. And then you're going to have others that are late adopters. They need you to lead the way. So they're going to watch your story unfold. And if you're continuing to share it and you started sharing now, you have more time for them to watch you and build confidence and hopefully jump on the train before you're way out of the station. So really just start sharing your dream and your passion today.
Awesome. And then part of that is the consistency of that. So Christy said, start now and start sharing your journey. And it comes down to, are you interested or committed? Because if you're interested, that means 1 week you're going to post about what your workout is and you're going to post some clean meals. And then the next week you might not. But if you're committed, it means you are committed every single day. There are 7 days in the week. There's 7 days you need to be on track with your own personal journey. You need to get your workouts in as scheduled by the program you're following. You need to drink Shakeology every day. And you need to be committed to personal development. Just like I mentioned before, personal development is what's going to help you through the lulls. When you feel overwhelmed, when you aren't sure, when you get too many no's and it makes you nervous or fearful, just a few pages out of a book are going to be what gets you over that hump. So being consistent with that means that that's your level of commitment. And this job is one where we don't get paid by the hour, we get paid by our commitment level. So how much time you're spending directly correlates to how much money you're going to make and how many lives you're going to change. And one of the parts of a new coach is it's very easy to get overwhelmed. It's scary. We know we're asking you to jump off this ledge that's totally brand new to you. And maybe you have failed in network marketing before, or maybe you've been part of one like myself, and you worked so hard, you worked your fingers to the bone, and the money didn't correlate to the work that you were putting forth. So it's very easy to get overwhelmed and feel like, maybe you should just stop in your tracks. But one of the things we really want you to take note, and hopefully you are, we didn't mention in the beginning, but hopefully you are taking some notes tonight, is when you feel overwhelmed, just stop what you're doing and focus on one thing at a time. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, it's because I have a list in front of me, but it's all over the place, and then I get a Facebook notification that reminds me I was supposed to do something else, and I don't write that down on the list. I just get right into it, and then I see another thing come up that I forgot I was supposed to make a blog post, and it's very easy to get distracted. So always work from your list and just focus on the one thing at a time. And if you get to a point where you're like, okay, this is too much, I'm putting too much time or effort forth, I don't have the time that I need to get this done, then that means you need to focus on what actually will bring you results. So a lot of times if you feel overwhelmed or feel like you don't have time to work this business, that means you have a lot of busy work going on. Maybe you're scrolling your news feeds and Facebook too much, or you're focusing on Instagram and Pinterest and a blog and Facebook and LinkedIn and, You really need to just narrow it all down and think, okay, what is going to generate results in my business? What is going to change a life? What is going to bring me income? And those items are things like inviting to a challenge group, connecting with other people and building those relationships, adding people to your network, and posting to social media. So if you did nothing else, just those 4 things alone, that would allow you to propel your business forward. If you couldn't do any other business aspect. Now, we always say the Shakeology, working out, and personal development. That's a no-brainer. That's just to be you. That's to be the healthiest, best version of you. But on the business side of things, when you feel like you just can't do any more, then you need to reel yourself back in and focus on just the very basic principles of what you need to do to move your business forward. And then, above all else, just take a deep breath. So many times I'll see somebody post in the team page that they're overwhelmed or they're exasperated or maybe this isn't for them, and I just think, gosh, just breathe. Just breathe. You know, we welcome you into an opportunity call where we say, just commit to us for a year. So don't come in and think, oh, okay, in a week I need to sign up 3 people and I need to make X amount of dollars. Like, yes, we want you to have goals, but don't feel like you are so attached to them that if they don't happen, you've somehow failed. Just breathe and make a list. I am the queen of lists. I love having everything written down in front of me. And I know Christy trains on this too, that if you work from that list and just check it off one by one, you will find that you can get it down into a half an hour or an hour of the things that you need to do to propel your business forward. So if that's just the inviting, connecting, adding a few people to your network, and then a few posts a day to social media, just have that. Have that as your to-do list and check it off. Inviting means you just sent a message and said, hey, I have this clean eating group started. Would you like to join us? Would you be interested in more information with someone that you've been talking to? It means creating an invitation, and the last 3 people that missed the last opportunity call, add them in and say, hey, I thought of you today because I know you missed the last call. These are really great. This is what, the information we've been talking about. It'll be all in one phone call for you. It's just, they're simple. It's just little 2 and 3 minute things. So never feel like this is a job that you have to, if you don't do 20 things in one day, you're going to fail. No, just get the basics done and move on. If you have other stuff going on, like Christy said, in the months that she had craziness going on in her life, she just did what she needed to do to get her business moving forward and then got on with her day. So just always stick to a list. And what we have in our team and what's available in our photo albums and in posts and documents, everything that we have that you want to access and use and utilize in your business is great, but it's the extra. Making blog posts and Pinterest boards and being really good at Instagram, those are all just extra things, and they will not help you at all if you're not sticking to your 3 vital behaviors just first and foremost.
Thank you. And I love that we were talking about being overwhelmed, because every time I hear that coaches are overwhelmed, it's because Facebook is a distraction. That is so why so many people get overwhelmed. And Tanya is right. Sit down and focus on those vital behaviors, those things that move your business forward. When I was working full time, I was very limited on the time I had for the business. And so there were things that I did. I added to my network daily. I had a goal of how many people I was going to add to my network each day. I connected with those people that I added to my network, or I sent messages to check in with old family and friends that I added to my network or that were on my Facebook list or on my list. So connect with people, add to your network, invite, and share your story. And sharing your story to social media is the perfect way. So that, like Tanya said, those 4 things, posting to your social media, adding to your network, connecting and building those relationships, and inviting, those are going to move your business forward. And of course, to be able to share your story on social media, you have to be doing those vital behaviors. But people get distracted because we are on Facebook connecting and adding people to our network, building relationships and inviting people through Facebook. So it's really important that you don't let notifications, busy work, keep you from doing those activities that move your business forward. So I didn't know this, and some of this stuff I just learned within the last couple years, but add your important groups to your favorites. So when you go into a group, if you're in our team page, for example, Epic Dream Team, if you go to the right-hand corner to that little gear looking thing and you click that, there's a drop down and you can add it to your favorites. And then you actually can click on all of your groups to the left-hand side, and a thing will pop up and say rearrange, and you can rearrange them. So in my favorites, our team page is first because I want to check that every day. Also, I have my like page up there in my favorites, and then my challenge groups and my intern groups that I'm currently checking in with each day. So I have those all favorited so that I can go through one by one really efficiently. I don't check my notifications because I get so many. I would be on my computer 24/7 and I would never get through them all. So if what I do is maybe twice a week or 3 times a week, I'll go to my Facebook wall and I'll read through the things that people have posted on my Facebook or the comments from a post that I put up, and I'll go through and comment on all of those really quickly. And I have my priority list and my favorites. So even when a coach or a challenger posts in one of those groups, I don't run to the group and check it. I actually have a scheduled time each day where I go in and I comment on everyone's posts and give them feedback and motivation and support and advice, and that way I'm not checking my notifications. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, turn off those notifications and schedule a time when you're going to be checking Facebook. Like I have a scheduled time when I check my Facebook messages. I have a scheduled time when I check emails. I go through and answer them and I close out. That helps me to actually get more done on my list, to not feel overwhelmed, and to not be distracted by busy work.
Awesome. Okay, speaking of Facebook, that is one of the cornerstones of our business, and there are many, many ways to share what you love about Beachbody, what you love about our programs, and engage with people about them. And I don't want to call anybody out. I don't want to say that, it's terrible and you're an awful person if you post what you see there on the top, but it's just not going to help you. It's not going to help you build your business. And what makes it wrong is it has the price listed there on the picture. It doesn't give anyone any reason to ask you a question. It doesn't give anyone a reason. It's almost like sometimes, on a car when you see like the for sale sign and you see the price on it and you're like, oh yeah, no, okay, or you walk away or whatever. That if you would just put your phone number, if someone really wanted that car, they have to call you and then you can kind of talk and chat, right? You're going to engage with that person. So if they have everything in front of them, they have no reason to ask you a question. And honestly, they would maybe look at that and say, oh, $180, well, all I see are like a couple of discs and, oh, okay, a hat. Like, there's no value in that. $180 is a lot to spend. And you know what's worse is there's no you, because a lot of times the money is inconsequential if the value is placed on the personal connection and the trust that that person has in you. So they're not seeing the best parts of what we have. Beachbody does a great job. All their marketing and their pictures are beautiful for the Beachbody website. For somebody logging in that knows nobody connected to Beachbody and logs into beachbody.com, and they can sell those P90X3s all day long, all by themselves. So we don't need to further promote their awesome marketing. We need to use their marketing and make it our own so that we can promote ourselves. So to me, that top picture, it's not pretty. It doesn't make me want to click on it and go over, because it just looks like maybe it's a banner ad or it's some kind of sales ad, and so I wouldn't click on it. Now the one on the bottom, the reason this is right is because well, that's me. But there's the coach. That's a person. That's a transformation story. That's going to be a picture that someone looks at and says, oh, I have bloat belly. Like, what? Wait, day 18? Wow, what? And they're going to want to like click at that and maybe be able to get like a closer look at that picture to be like, wait, can that even be possible? And then you're sharing yourself. This is part of your journey. So this is something that if somebody sees this on my Facebook news feed, it's going to be because they've watched me as I've posted my clean meals. They've watched me post my shakes. They've watched my kids doing my workout video with me. So they've been part of this journey. So it's almost like when they're looking at that, they're like, wow, wow, good job, girl, all right, you know? And then if it's someone that's connecting with it because they also want to lose some weight, then they're going to look at the fine print. They're going to read it and say, oh, okay, 1, 2, 3. How easy is that? And then it reminds them, here I am. I'm going to help you. I just did this. Are you ready to start? So it's showing them that there's a person connected. And then, like I said, at that point, the money isn't even consequential anymore because you've added the value. You've showed them that you already know the way. And you're going to hold their hand. You're going to take them with you. And, you know, my faces and everything, that shows my personality. The people that are following me, that shows them that, oh, yeah, look at her with her goofy faces. And you know, kind of inspires them, but also lets them in a little bit knowing that, you know, I'm not all hardcore fitness chick. I might be someday, but I haven't grown into that yet. Right now, it's just kind of, I'm a mom. I get my workouts in because I don't want to be fat. And so that's my story. So people that are following me know that's all part of me. And I'm really what I am selling, because honestly, we are all salesperson people. And just as a side note, if somebody sells you for 5 minutes on how they're not a salesperson, they're a salesperson. They just sold you why they told you this big spiel of why they're not a salesperson. So we all are, and really what we do as salespeople for Beachbody is we sell ourselves. We sell our story and our personality, and we let people connect to us and want to go on the journey with us.
Awesome. And so to go into that a little bit further, this versus that. So as you can see, the one on the left, simple eating, your 21-day portion control system, it's impersonal. There's no story there. There's nothing for anyone to connect to or relate to. And it's really hard to understand. I mean, if you're a Beachbody coach and you're looking at this, you're like, yay, green, purple, red, yellow, yeah, Shakeology was my red for today. That doesn't mean anything if you're not a coach. So they're going to look at the plastic containers and the $160, and they're going to think $160 for a bunch of plastic containers. I can go down to Bed Bath & Beyond and get plastic containers for like $10. It's not going to connect. It's impersonal. They're not going to relate to it, and it doesn't mean anything to them. Now, can you see the difference in the other photo? So here's Miss Tanya Jean, 21-day fix, round 1. You can see that she's leaner, and you're like, oh my gosh, that food looks amazing. Look at those. Oh, I want to eat that. Really? She lost weight eating that type of, like, that's quite a bit of food. They're going to stop. They're going to wonder what is going on here? What is this 21-day fix thing she's talking about? And I'm sure when Tanya posted this, she also posted a story. So it shows that she's living a healthy lifestyle. It shows progress, not perfection. And it adds value. So people who are looking to learn how to eat and see that Tanya's learning or has some type of system going here, they're going to want to know more. Portion control, I don't even understand what to eat. How can I know how much to eat? You know, so they're going to message her for additional information. You want to add value. And I'm not sure exactly what app Tanya used on this one, but she uses PicMonkey a lot. There are other apps that she uses. PicMonkey is free. You can create really beautiful things. And I will tell you, I am not the most creative person. Tanya Jean creates beautiful photos, and if you follow her, it makes you want to stop scrolling. You stop the scroll so you can take a look at her stuff and figure out what she's doing. My pictures aren't as pretty or as cool, but I always tell a story with my pictures. So if you scroll through mine, I have a different niche than Tanya does. And so if you're scrolling through my photos, you'll see that I'm always telling my story. I'm always sharing, you know, what the coach opportunity has done for me. Maybe it's that well, one, I'm in the best shape of my life, and now I know how to teach other people to do that with the 21-day fix. So I'll post about that a lot. Or how I can go to the gas station and not have to check my checking account. I'll post stories. So that's the difference. You don't want to post something that's salesy and just straight to the point. You want to post your story, something that relates with people, that they can connect with, and it's personal. And so when you share something that gets at their core, that, when I was talking, or I posted something one day, and I posted about being at a gas station and only being able to put $5 in my tank, because if I put any more, I was gonna overdraft my account, and I had to wait until my next paycheck to put any more gas. So I couldn't go anywhere but to and from work to make that gas last as long as possible. And when I shared this story, in not quite so many words, on Facebook, I had people message me that said, I'm going through that right now, and I would love some more information about what you do, because I'm tired of feeling this way. So make sure that you are showing something that shows your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of ties into KISS. Keep it short and simple. There's no need for us to complicate this anymore for people that don't know anything about us or what we do. You really just want to connect. You want to have a story and a vulnerability that is just sharing how Beachbody has changed your life. So I can specifically remember an instance where one of the coaches on our team had posted that she made enough money to pay 10 light bills, and she just couldn't believe it. Like, that was just amazing to her that she could make, in one check, she could pay her light bill 10 times. And so I remember sitting at a baseball game, one of my son's games, and I thought, you know what, that's awesome. I asked permission first. I asked her if I could share, and then I shared her status to my timeline, because I just thought, that is so incredible. How is it that we're doing something that we love and we get rewarded so well? Beachbody pays us so well. And I got so much interaction from people that just connected to her story, connected to, well, gosh, I couldn't even pay my light bill last month. Like, what are you guys doing? And then for me personally, I had someone message me and say, wow, I am sitting in like a cold shop trying to sell my items that I crafted, and I'm reading this status that, this girl that is on your team, that she just paid her light bill 10 times. Like, I think I need more information about what you're doing. And that was a big aha moment for me, because I thought, I never, before that, I hadn't thought about sharing how I used to have to tally up the groceries in my grocery cart. Because, say, I was a server and I did well, but we have 5 kids and we have a lot going on and we had a lot of bills at the time. And so my money always had somewhere to be. And so I had to be, I was working out of cash, out of envelopes, if anybody follows Dave Ramsey. And so I only had that certain amount of money in that envelope. And I didn't have credit cards, and I didn't have a backup plan if I went over at the grocery cart or at the checkout, unless I, had to put stuff back. So I thought, wow, those are the kind of things that people are currently struggling with, that we really need to be transparent about. And it might be embarrassing, or it might be like you're going through it right now. It's maybe the equivalent of sharing your before picture before there's an after, but you can just say things like that. Like, wow, this was the first week I didn't have to tally up the groceries in my cart, or this is the first week I got to put more than $5 in my gas tank, or I've posted before that, oh my gosh, my jeans fit, I didn't have to do the after dryer jiggle or something, just share funny little things and make it real life stuff, because all of us are going through real life, and you want it to be something that people are actually going to stop and look at. Just like we were mentioning, if you just have like a picture of an ad, or, if you have some big, long, drawn-out thing that seems confusing or complicated, people might not stop, because everybody's on their phones now. And, I don't even think you have half a second to grab somebody's attention anymore. So you really need to make it a quick grab. There needs to be something in that first or second sentence or in your picture that's going to make them stop. So Keep it short and simple, but share your story and your journey and how Beachbody is actually helping you. And then another way to really get attention to your feed and to create that Facebook affinity is to pick, I call them 5 favorite things because it's a little inside joke with my friends and I about how, oh, she's wearing her 5 favorite things. So, but you need to pick, I say 5 to 10 of your interests, whether you are a pet parent or you are, making your own wine in your garage, or you are super organized and you know how to teach people how to clean out their closets. Whatever is interesting to you, look to your Pinterest board. If you don't know what your interests are, if you actually need to reference something, go to Pinterest and look at your last 20 pins. Those are probably going to contain your 5 favorite things to be interested in. And then share those, share stuff about those on your Facebook newsfeed that add value to other people. If one of your interests is family, then share how you can pack food for a family trip. If it's fitness, like a lot of ours are, don't just share a picture of a circuit training. Share a video of you doing the circuit training. If it's home decor, show how you set up your mantle in your living room, or how you organized your kitchen cabinets. Make it about things that people will want to read about and then they know to look to you for. I love, this is a perfect example. So I love coffee, right? I'm always talking about coffee and different ways I can make healthy creamers and where to find the best organic, good for you coffee. I have shared enough about coffee that now people post to my timeline. They post coffee things, whether they're funny memes or it's the newest way to make your coffee in the morning. People tag me in things because when they see coffee, they think of Tonya Jean. So you need to think of it that way. You need to think when somebody finds a really good deal on Fry boots, they're going to share that link to my Facebook because they're going to think of you because you're addicted to shoes. So really connect to those things and make sure that it's something that you really love so that you love sharing about it. And then another way to engage in your Facebook is to ask a question. So I once posted, okay, give it to me. What's your favorite lip color and brand? And I mean, oh my gosh, people love to know stuff. And so if you ask them something that you want to know, they want to be Google for you. A lot of times when people are like, well, I don't know how to post an engaging question, then do exactly that. Think to yourself what you would Google. Or the next time you're going to go to Google to ask a question, ask it in your timeline instead. I did that yesterday because I really wanted a cheeseburger. And so I said, okay, you guys, best cheeseburger in Avila or Shell Beach. Go. And, everybody, they want to help. Everybody wants to help and know answers. So they engage with you. And then sometimes it can be something like, do you use coconut oil, or just something quick, just to get people to go back and forth and talk back and forth and create those conversations. And then our rule of thumb as a team is make sure only 1 out of 5 posts are about fitness or Beachbody or a success story, or, because all of us are obviously posting about that. And as a coach, everybody's going to expect you to post that. So you kind of just want to thread those in and kind of weave them into your natural progression on your Facebook timeline. And a good rule of thumb for how to know if what you're posting is good is to go to your own timeline. Look at the last 5 posts that you posted. Would you follow yourself? Would you, looking at that, be interested enough to click friend or follow? Because, we train, we have your timelines public. And so people, when you have a link to friend you on Facebook, or you've shared something on Pinterest and connected it to your Facebook or whatever it is, when they go to your timeline and they're seeing what's on your timeline, would they follow you? So, and if you need help with that, you can always post in our team page and say, hey, you guys, will you click over to my profile? Am I doing okay? Or can I get a little feedback or something like that? But we don't want that to stop you. So say you're not so good at the post. Say Christy mentioned, she's like, I don't do pictures, but that's okay. That's her niche. She obviously does amazing with what she does because she has honed down exactly what her followers and her network are attracted to. So you need to find out what that is for you. And in that, it's practice makes perfect. You know, I would rather see you post 5 times a day of just kind of meh, kind of like, okay, yeah, those are all right. That's a good attempt, good A for effort, than not post at all. So if anything, keep those posts up to 3 to 5 posts a day, and you will improve. You can find other coaches that you admire. You can find people like that mentor us, you know, like Eric Worre or Darren Hardy, and kind of like check them out and see the kind of things that they're doing to reach out to their following and how they're connecting and posting and asking questions. And, you know, I've done that before. I've gone to Eric Worre's like page and Darren Hardy and other top coaches with Team Beachbody just to see how they engage and how they interact with people. So, you know, practice makes perfect. Just keep trying. And then post more frequently. I can tell you right now, I've seen coaches that start out strong and they're doing their 3 to 5 posts a day, and then they're gone for a week. And what happens when you do that is that people don't think you're consistent enough. If you're not there on a regular basis, then they are going to wonder, well, is she going to be there for me, or is he going to be there for me when the time comes and I need them? You know, even in challenge groups, if you join a challenge group and you're all gung-ho and you're in it and you're posting, and then a couple weeks go by and you're gone, you've already lost trust. You've lost the consistency of people that you know, are looking to you and are watching you. Because even if you put something that's like you think is amazing and it gets 5 likes and no comments, I guarantee you 100 people saw it and like thought something about it or whatever. Like, people are watching you and you have no idea. So post as if 1,000 people are going to like your post every single time. And then with consistency, in the book Go for No, which I highly recommend, he tells a story about a salesman that tried to sell his gadget door to door for 4 years. And everybody shut the door in his face. No, 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 no. And then lo and behold, on his 5th year, he was offered to sell his gadget for $20 million. So this guy went door to door for 4 years and didn't make a penny. But then that 5th year made $20 million. So ask yourself, did he make $5 million a year for 4 years? Because that's how this business works. We are a residual income network marketing company. So everything you do every single day, even if your paycheck is still 0 or is $60, or now, you know, like Christy is up to $8,000 a week, you're getting paid on the efforts you did the day before. So be consistent, be willing to mess up, be willing to fall on your face and get back up and just do it all over again. Learn from what you've done. Learn from when you've shared and nobody liked it or commented, to something that you've grown into where, you know, maybe you're getting 20 likes and you're getting a couple comments. Like, always be willing to keep growing and the success will follow you. You have to be willing to fail. And I know Christy will also repeat this sentiment, that you have to be willing to fail, because if you don't fail, you're not going to succeed. And all of us, any of the leaders on this team, have failed more than we succeeded. So be willing to dive in and be that next top coach on our team.
Thank you. And she's right. She's so right. You know, the $8,000 in a week, it's not just work that I did that week. In fact, I think I worked less that week than I have all year long. It's all of the work that I've done the last 4 years. And, you know, I said I made $70 my first month as a coach, but I treated my business just like it was my job, and I was consistently failing every single day. And I've done that for 4 years. And I see coaches that come in, you know, I think the biggest thing, I want to share this story with you guys really quickly, is when I was a newer coach, I was still working full time. We had a Super Saturday event, and those are our quarterly events where we get together all over the United States and Canada. So make sure to get to our next one on April 25th. But I went to this event. We actually hosted another coach on my team and I, and this lady came, and she had just moved from Colorado to California. And I said, how long have you been a coach? And she had been a coach. She started the exact same day that Pete Pena million-dollar earner. He and his wife both earn over $1 million a year. She started the same day as him and his wife, basically. And she wasn't even an Emerald coach because she put her business on the back burner. And I think that was the best thing I probably could have heard, although my dreams and my fire in my belly for my dreams, what I don't think would have let me stop. But when I heard that story, I knew that I was not going to be that person in 4 years that says, oh, I started the same day as Christy Curtis and I'm a coach. I'm an Emerald coach. I put the business on the back burner. So don't do that. Be consistent, consistently fail more. I see coaches getting frustrated when they fail. That's part of the process. I mean, I get frustrated too, but I also know that whatever failure I'm going through, when I find that solution, that aha moment, that is going to push my business. That's going to get me to the $10,000 a week mark, or the $15,000 or $20,000 a week. It really is. It's just so incredible that our own growth and the amount of lives that we're changing is a direct reflection of our income. And that only happens with time and consistency and taking action. So more about posting, or talking to people, don't puke on your prospects. It's really important. Obviously, with our challenge groups, we have fitness, nutrition, support. You want to layer that information. You don't want to just throw up on everyone. So maybe you talk a little bit about the fitness side and then ask a couple questions about the person and let them ask questions. And then maybe you talk about nutrition and let them ask some questions. And then you talk about the support and you as their coach and their mentor and let them ask questions. You have to really know your audience. So don't puke information that doesn't matter to them. I think that's probably one of the biggest things we do as new coaches. I know I did it too, is somebody would want information. I would just throw up everything that I knew on them. And it's not important. Those things aren't important. You're not a bad coach if you don't tell them every single thing that you know before they sign up. There's no way that I could tell all of you everything that I know. I would be puking for months, years even, and you would have walked out of the room. So you want to say things that really relate to the people you're talking to. You have to know your audience. What do they like? What appeals to them? I know that a lot of times when I'm talking with people, I'll ask about their jobs. What do they do? How long have they been working? How's it going? What do they like about their job? What don't they like? I'll ask information just in conversation when I meet someone. And what I'm really doing is I'm getting to know them so that I know what appeals to them. So when someone says, generally, what do you do as a Beachbody coach? I work with people online to help them reach their fitness goals. I'm always looking for entrepreneurs like myself who want more, who are looking for an opportunity to create more freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. And then I can segue into my story and how Beachbody has created that freedom for me. But maybe the person doesn't want freedom. Sometimes I talk with people and they will tell me they don't care about the money. When I hear someone say they don't care about the money, I know I need to talk about the fitness side. I need to talk about my challengers and how much it means to me when they message me and are in this whole new world. They have a new life. They feel like they were almost born again because they have energy to live life. They have happiness again. They have a belief and confidence that fitness is possible for them, that being healthy is possible, that wearing a size 6 is possible, whatever it is. So I can share those stories with that person because I know that relates to them. So you have to really know your audience, and you don't have to tell them everything, just the parts that relate to them. Ask questions. You have to ask questions of other people to be able to know your audience. You can't just start telling them all about the challenge groups. If somebody would have told me about the challenge groups, I would have ran the other way. I had already, through a lot of trial and error and all the wrong things, found fitness, nutrition, health. If somebody invited me to a group, I didn't need the support from that. I was accountable to my own goals. I was already part of a community that was helping me stick with those goals. But when someone invited me to the coach opportunity, I was all in because I was looking for more. So you really have to know your audience. I have it happen a lot where people will come to me that are following me and see my posts about, being able to pay for gas or being able to pay cash for our cars. And they'll say to me, what is it that you do? How can I do what you do? Can you give me more information? And when I share it with them, they'll say, oh yeah, my sister's a coach. She's invited me to a bunch of challenge groups. Well, yeah, that's what we do as a coach. But her sister never thought to invite her to the coach opportunity. So know your audience and don't just puke a bunch of information that doesn't matter to them.
Mm-hmm. And then what we have set in place as a coach on our team are various training groups. This one that you probably will be invited to first is called Coach Basics. We also sometimes call them the intern group or Emerald Push group. It's basically your introduction into a daily interactive group where we are going to train you so that you can learn all the fundamentals of your business. You get supported by the people in the group that are also learning as well as your upline sponsor. And you get to experience how important it is to be accountable, to connect with other people and set goals. So the accountability part is really what's important. That's what we were talking about earlier with consistency, is once you realize how to check into these groups and how to do your 3 vital behaviors and then learn everything that you need to know in the back end of your business, it's going to set you up for success going forward. And it's really simple. We have very small guidelines for your first group. You just kind of learn the background, and then we offer how to earn Success Club 5, how to become an Emerald Coach, and how to do that in 30 days. So you're going to spend your first 30 days going through your fitness program, obviously, because as a new coach, you got your fitness program in your Shakeology. So you're going to be checking into a challenge group also for that. But this Coach Basics is specifically how to run your business. You will learn what we have gone through, all of our trials and errors, and then have the background of our corporate training to back up and teach you everything you know to run your business. So when you get invited by your upline sponsor, you want to take advantage of that group. It's going to be one that you're going to add to your favorites in Facebook so that you remember to check into it every day and learn what's available to you.
Cool. Baby steps. So first, you're a new coach. You join a challenge group with maybe your upline or a success partner or another coach on the team as an apprentice coach. It's really important that when you're a coach, you're leading by example. That means that you're doing your workouts, you're drinking your Shakeology, you're checking into the group. Apprentice coach is very important. You can't join a challenge group and just expect your leader, everyone else to do all the posts. You have to engage with everyone, share your journey, be vulnerable. That's really going to help you in multiple ways. It's going to help you to learn how to lead a challenge group, but it's also going to help you stay accountable to your fitness goals as you share your story, and you're going to get better at sharing your vulnerabilities, sharing your story, so that when it comes to posting on your Facebook, on social media, like we've been talking about, you'll have more of a story to share, and you'll be more comfortable with it. A lot of times, I'll post something even in a challenge group first to see how the support group reacts to it before I'll post it to my public Facebook page. I still get scared sometimes when I'm posting really vulnerable posts about my story. So I'll do that and see what people think and how they're reacting to the post, and then post it to my public page. And then, as an apprentice coach, you'll move on to leading the groups. And I have some brand new coaches that go through an intern group, get to Emerald or Earning Success Club, and they're leading their groups. They don't even need me. They're out crushing it. They're helping people. They're leading groups on their own. So first, you're a new coach, and the intern groups and being in a challenge group are really important. And being consistent in both of those. Like Tanya was saying, the accountability portion, checking into those groups every day. If you aren't going to check into those groups, it's going to be really hard for you to, one, learn the fundamental foundation, the behaviors you need to have a successful business. And if you don't learn those behaviors, there's no way they're going to be able to lead by example for a team of coaches or even customers. Because like Tanya said, if you're not consistent, people aren't going to trust you. It's my consistency over time, not putting the business on the back burner, being consistent every day that people see, it builds trust. I have people come back to me, my sister-in-law, 3 years later, asking to get started as a coach and in a challenge group. So baby steps first. You'll start as a new coach just like every one of us has. But I want you to understand too that just because you're a brand new coach doesn't mean you have the same or a different opportunity than we have. Sometimes I hear people say, well, you got started at the right time. I know brand new coaches that I've helped mentor that are earning in a year, 2 years time as much as I am, or that I've helped mentor that are well on their way to earning 4 times the amount I am by the time they've been in the business 4 years. And we're able to take the tools and all the trial and error that we've had, and if you learn and you take action on the things we're teaching you, you can bypass some of those steps. There's still going to be trial and error, but you don't have to learn everything the hard way. You can learn from some of our mistakes.
That's awesome. And that's part of being a team that all joins together to be the solution. So this is kind of where it's like, okay, rip the Band-Aid off and just say it. Don't be a negative Nelly. Don't be someone that is, actually, Darren Hardy coined it, so I feel like it's okay for me to say, don't be the asshole. Don't be the one that is posting in our team page or spreading any kind of negativity. Be someone that when you are faced with any kind of boundary or hurdle or controversy in your business, be the one to find what the answer is and then share it with everyone else, because what you focus on will be what is brought back to you. Everything is an energy. Everything has a velocity to it, and whatever you're putting out there is going to come back to you sometimes tenfold. So if you have something in your business that you're struggling with or that you need help with, post it and share it with us in a way that is like, hey, this is what's going on. This is kind of what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Or like how Christy's saying, like she'll have something that she wants to post and she's not really sure, so she kind of like treads the water in our team page first. Like, that's awesome. That's being proactive, and that's being part of our team culture that we want to spread. We want to be the ones that are lifting each other up, that are supporting each other. We don't want any kind of like negativity or drama or woe is me. I say want so much that my 4-year-old says it. Like, don't be that. Don't be want. Like, think of things you can do to propel your business, propel you as a person, and then share on that and build on that. And a lot of times it's taking that outside of yourself. If you have something that you're really struggling with, think of what your advice would be with someone that came to you for the help. Instead of sitting there being like, woe is me, like I'm stuck in this, if someone came to you with that problem, how would you solve it for them? So think about that as your own team culture and what you want to build and what you want to have as your own. We tell you sometimes to visualize, what does your team look like? How do they act? How do they feel? What does your team page sound like? What's the common thread inside there? And really always be putting that forward. Always be that coach that has that team. And even if you only have one person, even if you haven't signed anybody up, visualize that and make it your own, so that you actually will come into fruition of those things that you're thinking about. And just, there's always a reason for everything. Like, there is that silver lining. So, last month was a Team Beachbody Cup month, and you might not know what that is yet, but points are important, and Success Club points especially. And I honestly had to go back because I couldn't remember. I've never lost Success Club points. I have never had anything returned. I've never lost Success Club points. Last month, I lost 6 Success Club points in 1 month. So I could have been like, dude, this is retarded, and I'm really mad. But instead, I just took it as, okay, like, lesson learned. I put forth the best effort I had. I did everything I could to build my business, and it just It didn't come to fruition. I made Success Club, and that's what I focused on, was when I would earn points and I would get something, and then something got returned and I would lose points. And then I earned points because somebody bought something, and then it turns out that they were just an old customer of mine and they switched to another coach. It was someone I didn't even know. It was a free customer lead. So I just kept having it take away. And then I just said, okay, you know what? I'm going to make sure I earn Success Club, and I'm going to get through this month, and I'm going to smile and be okay and just use this as something to connect with people on my team so I can empathize with others. And to me, it was a successful month. We all had a great time promoting the cup. We had some fun. And I learned that, you know, sometimes when you do your best, you just have to still continue to struggle through. So be that person. Be the one that, instead of just sitting in your negativity, you are the one that propels a solution.
Awesome. And being a successful coach is not a destination, it's a journey. So every day is a journey. Like, we live our life every day. So I have goals too, and my goals excite me. The journey excites me. The ups and downs excite me. And as leaders, we want you to fly. We want you to feel equipped and supported, and you're going to have trial and error. Practice is going to make perfect. I wasn't able to talk on a training like this as a brand new coach, but as my team grew, I knew that I wanted to get information out and be able to help more people, and the only way I could do that was to start creating videos, so I did. And so practice makes perfect, and being a leader means you go first, and sometimes you fail first. I didn't know what I was doing when I was creating videos. If you look back at some of my first videos, I was looking down at the bottom of the screen. I had no idea what I was doing. I put them out there anyways. I didn't record them 5 times over and push pause and redo. I just did it and got the information out there and got better as I went. And it's so important to be consistent in this business. I keep saying it, but I see it too often that people get really excited about their dreams and goals the first 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even the first couple months, and then the business goes to the back burner. And I have questions. People ask me all the time, well, what do you think makes a successful coach? Attitude and action. Those are the things that make a successful coach. But those are things that we can control. How incredible is that? We have complete control over our own success. And it is through taking action, which is going to help you learn and grow, and having an incredible attitude along the way. That's not to say that we don't have trials and tribulations. I use mine as my story. I use my problems, my issues, whatever you want to call them, my frustrations, as a way to connect with more people. So, perfect example. Actually, last month or the month before, Stella, I'm a pet parent, got really sick. She couldn't walk, she couldn't move, she wouldn't eat, drink. If you touched her, she screamed out in pain. And I had to take her, we had to take her to the vet. We were up all night. I know what parents go through. It was miserable. Your heart is breaking. You think of all these scenarios. You don't know what to do. You can't control it. And there's nothing you can do to make her feel better. And so as we're going through this, I went to my Facebook page and I just didn't put, FML, I hate my life, I can't believe my dog's sick and now we got to take her to the vet. I didn't complain about it. I went to Facebook and I posted and I said, going through a hard time right now. Please say prayers for Stella.